Hi everyone, this is Starlight Activation. I'm Anthony, and I've got a little bit of notes. So last night I went out to the park and did a prayer meditation. So when I talk about a prayer meditation, what I'm always meaning is I'm usually out in the park that I've talked about, and I walk around the rotunda, and usually takes me around 45 minutes to do a meditation prayer there. That was my dryer going off. If you can hear that in the background. And one of the things that came out last night is that that I thought was kind of just maybe I wanted to bring up is I was encouraged in a reading that I had yesterday to if there's anything that I wanted to manifest, I should go ahead and ask for it. And I really I had a couple of things on my mind, but instinctively, instead of leading with that, I actually led for prayers for my team, for my guides, the divine, Mother Earth, my passed on ancestors that are giving me information. So I prayed for all my guides, and because I know I'm not the easiest vessel to deal with, because I can be argumentative, I question, I need to know things, and in readings it comes up, there's always talking about there's someone out there who's really spicy, and I'm like, oh God, I know that's me, because I'm sure they get tired of me because I've argued with them before many times and get frustrated, but always it gets resolved during a prayer meditation, which is amazing. And a lot of times I'll do a little bit of shadow work in a prayer meditation. And so I did ask for some things also with that theme, but I didn't do I didn't feel compelled to do like I had spoke about on the very last video where I did a special prayer to Lightworkers, for Lightworkers to start to awaken. I thought, no, this time I'm going to focus on my guides and let them know how much I love them, let them know that how much I appreciate them, the blessings they're giving me, the ability to let me do this, to have a job that pays my bills, and that I love, and I get to use my light energy at work. And so I was just giving blessings back for everything I have. Like one of the big things is for flight attendants and anyone in the airline industry that works in the plane, like the pilots or the flight attendants, we bid on everything for our schedule. So the length of trip, your layover destinations, your layover time, all that kind of stuff. How many flights you're willing to work during your trip. It's everything. You bid on everything. So seniority dictates what you're going to get. And I've been very fortunate that the divine does have influence on every one of my schedules, every single one of them. Every month I do a schedule, something happens to where I know there was divine timing in this, that the divine made things happen, so something benefited me on my schedule that I didn't even think about. And I just got my schedule for the next month, and it was yesterday. It showed up, and I was like, oh wow, there's this. I told you guys I'd had an operation. I'm still healing from it. Well, I have an appointment coming up, but I didn't even think to ask for the day off for my schedule. I have the day off on my schedule. So that's what I'm talking about. It's little things like that my group and the divine, who orchestrates everything, really it is all divine timing. It affects every part of your life. There's not one part of your life that doesn't. It even affects your sexuality and your enjoyment of sex. Yeah, we could go there, but maybe we'll do a video about sexuality. Okay, I could do that. Okay, so I wanted to bring that up. Then this morning, I'm getting up. I have a trip tomorrow, so I'm doing like my grooming habits, like getting rid of the neck hair, shaving. There's little things that I do to get ready for a trip. And so I thought, when I was finished, I thought, okay, I'm just going to lay down. The lighting in the studio is not even on yet because it's early in the morning. And I thought, okay, I'm going to lay down. I'm going to do a specific meditation. So I'm not going into prayer, not at all. Just meditation. And what came out of it, I started speaking to letting everyone know, let my guides know, Anthony is coming forward. We are just going to meditate. Please bring forth any messages that you need to at this time. And I just started saying that again and restating it in other ways, like I'm open and receptive right now. If you need to get a message to me, and I kept talking about that, just like, okay, just get a message through if anything is coming through. And all of a sudden, I see the mount where Michael always is in my visions. So Michael was there. So he just pops right up, and I was like, oh my God, Michael, it's so good to see you. And he did something he's never done, never ever done. He raised his arm up and waved, not like this, like this, like he was saying hello, like he was getting my attention. And so I'm focusing in on where he is, and he's smiling, and I'm like, oh my God. I said, you've never done this in one of my visions before. I said, I'm amazed by this. This is beautiful. I'm so glad you showed up. If there's anything specific anybody else wants to bring up, I said, it's so amazing to see you though, yada, 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 talking. And all of a sudden, boom, it's like I'm watching a movie, and the screen goes from this beautiful mount, and I've told you guys before, it's rock. It's like in a cavernous cave or something like that, because it's not, there's a cover, but it's way, way, way high. It's just, I know that it's in a massive location, and it's beautiful. It's granite, so it's beautiful. And so the camera pans from where he always is when I asked him to cut the cords, and it goes camera, which would be my right. And guess what's there? Did you guess it? Probably not. An emerald green dragon. Now, in the last video, I told you that I had been told about a dragon that could be part of my team. And so I had asked specifically the day before if there was any dragons present. Well, that night before, last night, when I was doing my prayer meditation, I was asking if there's any dragons present. I would like to get to know them. And so what I could see though immediately, and this is the cool part, the dragon is laying down. So it's relaxed. Its tail's relaxed. It is this beautiful emerald green color with a little bit of a crown, and the crown goes from a green to like a light gold. So the coloring in the dragon is impeccable, gorgeous. And at that moment, when I'm just focusing in on the dragon, I was like, oh my God, he or she is gorgeous. This massive puff of fire comes out. It is a fire dragon, a fire-breathing dragon. This poof of flame comes out. I'm like, wow, that was amazing. And then in its place, at where the dragon's feet are laying, right at the base, its head is elevated, so it's not looking down, it's looking straight at me, and then his feet are here, and then there's this massive emerald jewel that it's holding, or it's standing there on its own, and it's right in front of him. So it's this massive stone, and the dragon is right there. Oh my gosh, I could not believe it. I was so blown away. I was like, oh my God, I'm so thankful you came forward. I said, this is magical. This means everything to me. And I was beside myself. It was the most beautiful image that has came through so clear. Like a lot of my visions that come through, it comes through with that same clarity and same beauty. It was just glorious. It was amazing. And then camera pans out, and I can see there's Michael still where he is. Michael is smiling. The dragon is there. The dragon is so content, just like, I'm on my throne. Here I am. I am your protector. That's the vibe I was getting off this. So hang on one second, I forgot my phone, so I can tell you what the dragon means. So as soon as I got out of the prayer manifestation, well, not the manifestation, just the meditation, I had to pull it up. I'm not shocked by what it says, because that's divine. That's how the divine works. So my question was, is there a spiritual connotation to having an emerald green dragon as a spirit guide or spirit protector? Yes. Having an emerald green dragon as part of your spirit team carries significant spiritual connotations related to healing, growth, abundance, wisdom, and a strong connection to nature. Okay, I've told you guys before, I have, as a child, been connected to Mother Nature, and I never knew why. Well, I know now it's part of my Sirian heritage. That's one thing, but I always have been. So there's several things. I'm just going to go through them really, really quick. Key spiritual connotations: healing and heart connection. The emerald color is strongly associated with the heart chakra, symbolizing love, compassion, and emotional healing. An emerald dragon suggests a focus on opening your heart, healing past emotional wounds, and fostering self-love and empathy. Okay, we're about to get to that in a second. That's one of my points today that just was already on my list before the dragon showed up. Growth and renewal. Green is the color of nature, spring, and vitality. This dragon signifies personal development, new beginnings, rebirth, and the continuous process of shedding old patterns, embracing the new, more enlightened version of yourself. Okay, what's so significant about that? I talked about last night that in my prayer meditation last night at the park, I talked about how I love the fact that I keep shedding off a layer of my ego to help ascend. Oh my God, it's exactly what I talked about. Okay, wisdom and guidance. Dragons are widely regarded as custodians of ancient wisdom and knowledge. An emerald dragon signifies they are often seen as a wise healer and guide, urging you to trust your intuition, and seek deeper spiritual truths. It helps clear the mind and allow communication and guidance from higher realms. We talk about me being a Sirian, and the Sirians are not in the 3D like we are here. They're in the 5D, which means they're at a higher level. And so that just really ties into it. In some traditions, the dragon is associated with prosperity, good luck, and receiving blessings, which may be financial, but are always fortuitous for one's spiritual path. I have been told before that while I am in my spiritual path, all things I do from my spiritual path will be a blessing. Whether it comes into the 3D as in something like a business or money, that has been told to me many times. Guardianship and protection. Dragons are powerful protectors. The emerald dragon is a fierce but calm guardian of its domain, nature, or your inner self, offering strength, resilience, and overcome challenges, and protecting you from negative energies or influences that no longer serve you. I gave up some of the stuff exactly last night, in my prayer meditation at the park. And part of that is having fully removed things from my energy that no longer serve my purpose, and giving that back to the universe. So every single one of these has such relevance to me right now. Connection to nature and the elements. The emerald dragon is deeply rooted in the energy of the earth, trees, and natural cycles. Its presence may indicate a need to spend more time in nature, connect with plants, spirits, and advocate for environmental balance. Yep, that is all up me right there. In essence, the presence of the emerald dragon in your spirit team is a powerful sign of a supportive, wise, and nurturing guide that helps you align with your true potential, heal on a deep level, and navigate your life's journey with courage and grace. I think that's just beautiful. I think it's so poetic. It so fits, just like every time I pull anything up that I learn, normally a lot of my stuff comes through in prayer meditation. And that's why I like to be out in nature when I'm doing it, because I feel very close when I'm out in nature to spirit and to connecting to everyone because of the light. And I don't mean because it's daytime, because most of the time I'm out there at nighttime. So when I'm talking about the light, it's the light inside me, it's the light inside source, it's the light inside everything that's connected to on the planet. Okay, so one of the things that I said we would get to is I was posting some short videos about some shrimp. on TikTok. And I don't pay attention to, I'm only on TikTok because of aquascaping. And so you know how TikTok suggests people that are also on TikTok, like I guess that their phone number is in your phone or whatever. So my current husband is on TikTok, and I've never once looked at his profile. So I thought, okay, let me look at his profile. And I looked at, I think it was 3 videos. One where he had traveled internationally to Europe, and he's wearing one outfit for a lot of photo shoots that someone's taking. So he's with someone, and it's not his mother. He usually travels with his mother. If his mother's with him, he's always in photos with his mom, and he's dressed down, very casual. No, he was trying to, this made it look like he was trying to make a commercial to prove how sexy he was or how handsome he was, because he's in Europe and he's wearing a white overcoat with these round black sunglasses, trying to be very Vogue, is what a cheap version of Vogue is what I'm thinking. And you guys remember, I started my career in women's fashion. So I have nothing against fashion, but I do when it comes to people that don't have the money and are trying to pull off like a scam that they do, but they don't. When I saw those, my initial thought was it would show despair. That's what my intuition showed me. And then it showed me a fake mask. And then the third thing I got that just overwhelmed me is, why did I not see this when I was actively living in the same state? Why did it take me so long to wake up from this? I saw this in a video, and I read the energy from that video, and I could see this is someone masking their pain, their despair, and trying to put on that fake life that I've talked about so many times, especially about Facebook. And I really could not understand how I didn't see this when I was there in the same state with this individual. And then I really broke down and had to give massive, massive thanks for waking up now and being able to see this and have a completely different opinion of it now. That this person wants to come back. This person wants me back. Not because they want me. It's because for financial gain. This person has used, and a group around him, I believe it's his family, have used spell work, binding work, casting spells to try to keep me attached to him. And they were very successful for 6 years. So the marriage is 8 years long, 2 years I've been away from it, and that's when I started waking up. But when I was in the same household, it was extremely draining. And this was the person that gave no communication, was cold and distant on purpose. That was their goal. Their goal was to break me down and to live and feed off of my energy. And so my guides have shown me again and again and again, this person is going to try and make a comeback, but be very warned about this, because this person is not honest. This person is still fake. And by seeing these videos, I saw it myself. I read the energy myself. And that's the first time I was able to do that. Sometimes, I guess, when you have feelings for someone, I'm not going to say my heart overrode my ability to see, but I think I had blinders on. I think I really did. And I think I wasn't able to admit what I was really seeing, and I came up with excuses. And those excuses only got me so far. And that heartache got me only so far. And I'm so thankful, and I just gave praise after praise after praise for waking up. That was the best part. And what that caused me to see now is one of the things I want to talk about. The perception of things you see begins to change as you evolve in your ability to step into your own power and to be the light worker you're supposed to be. So if you see that as a trend and you don't know about the light worker part yet, but you see yourself questioning situations that you were thought one way, but now they're different. So it's not only that your perception can change, is that I've also seen like my energy shift through my prayer meditations. And that's a beautiful thing to witness as well, where I was hesitant before about what I was going to pray about. Now I just bring it up and I just talk about it and I deal with it and I work through that prayer. It's a prayer that usually I've never done, but it's a topic that I'll start on and I'll start talking through the topic and then I'll start formulating what my intent is. And then by the time I've done a whole prayer about one thing to pray for the peoples for X, Y, and Z. So I've seen the energy shift in that, and then also the changes in my perception now. Like a year ago, I would have thought, oh, that's a handsome husband I have that's off in Europe enjoying trips with someone that's not me. Today, it's completely different. Today, I see a miserable person that doesn't know how to process information, does not know how to process feelings, does not know to have a true feeling, does not know how to show love, is incapable of showing it, is incapable of giving it, only knows how to take, and has been raised that way because I know this individual's mother. And that's why I forbid her from ever coming back to my house that I ever lived in again. She was no longer welcome. That didn't start our rift. That made the rift a lot bigger because he never defended me to his mother. And this is someone that I bent over backwards from the first time she came to the United States to stay with us. And she would stay a minimum of normally 6 to 8 weeks. The longest time she was there 3 months. Having someone in your house that you're not used to having in your house when you only have a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom at most. I never had more than a 2-bedroom. And at the last visit she ever had, she accused me of trying to sabotage this parking space in the condominium complex where we lived because he kept parking in the guest space. And he got notes on his car. You're parking here, we're going to tow it because we all had a space. And he just wanted to park in the guest because that's in the very front of the building. He just walked straight in. And so she said I did that. And so I had it out with her. We didn't speak the same language, but let me tell you, she understood what I was saying because I translated it for her on Google Translate. I went to town on her, and she was never allowed to. No, that was it. I cut her off from that point. That was part of me starting to wake up and then having to relocate myself from Florida to Texas because I needed distance of many states in between because his pull could be that great. And then as I started waking up and listening to channeled messages, things like that were brought to my attention about how I'd been held bound. And then I understood why I was sick all the time. I understood why I was depressed. There was a reason for everything all of a sudden because I had been duped. The person that I dated did not show up for the marriage. The person that showed up for the marriage was the true person that was just a user. And that's it. And now that my energy has been pulled back from him, part of, I believe, that I've been led to believe is that his karmic justice will be what he did to me is now being done to him. I don't have any contact with him. Now he professes his love and he has sleepless nights because he can't get me off his mind. It comes up at every single channeled message I have. Every single one. I don't care who gives the message. If it's to a cancer collective, it always pops up about this one person that can't sleep, is distraught, ashamed of what they've done, but they're not willing to admit it. They're not willing to apologize. And the couple of times that we have spoken, this year, the last time I told him, well, the time before that, I said, I'm only ready to hear anything from you if it's an apology. And he tried to act like he's apologized before. I said, you've never apologized for this. You know what you did. You treated me badly. You used me, and you've never apologized for that. And until you apologize, this is going to be your fate. You're going to have to deal with this. I moved on. And that part is what's killed his ego, is that he thought he's this sexy Peruvian that can keep anybody he wants to get kept, and then in return, they'll pay for everything. Well, sorry, that gravy train's over. So, amen, sisters. So, as a light worker, stand up in your power. Don't let someone do to you what has done to me. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope this resonates with, oh my gosh, it is just that easy to go into a meditation. It's just that easy to invite in messages, and a vision can come to you as well. You have to be open. You have to be open to receive the knowledge, the gifts, the blessings, and do the work. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to lie and say it's easy. Going through a dark night of the soul and shadow work is not easy. But it's your shadow you have to deal with. And by dealing with it, you give up old wounds that fester over the decades. And once you give those up and release them, I'm telling you, it's freedom. It's so liberating. You will see the difference. And you will start to feel so much better. I promise you. So, if this finds resonance, I'm thankful for that. If you have any questions or concerns or a topic you want brought up, please let me know. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you up in the air, maybe, or on my next video update. But until then, I'm giving you and leaving you nothing but light and love. And you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. And thanks for joining me.